Good to have you back. The issue of abortion is front and center once again as a federal court considers a potential ban on abortion drugs. Today we hear the story of an abortion survivor and her journey to forgiveness.
44-year-old Jennifer Milbourn was born and raised in Champaign-Urbana, Illinois by her birth mother's sister and her husband. She always knew she was adopted, but it wasn't until when she was 19 that she learned her birth mother had tried to abort her.
And I was very ashamed because I didn't want anyone in the world to know that I was that unwanted, that someone didn't want me to the point to where they were willing to take my life. And I definitely wrestled with a bit of shame and guilt over it.
Milbourn's birth mother was unmarried at the time and was 16 weeks pregnant when she went to a rural abortion clinic. But the baby's head was larger than expected and didn't fit in the vacuum tube, so the clinician had to pull back.
The abortionist sent my birth mom home saying, we tore the embryonic sac, more than likely you're going to miscarry. And since she was an alcoholic already, they probably figured, of course she'd miscarry.
Milbourn buried her pain and shame for a decade. She eventually shared her truth with her husband, and soon after, a spiritual experience prompted her to think about forgiving her birth mom.
I was actually cleaning my bathroom floor, listening to worship music, and I sensed, I kind of heard, that inside voice we have, that I needed to forgive my birth mom. And I tried several times to ignore that small voice, and I realized I am having a moment with God himself. And so I just started sobbing, and I felt that unction to utter the words, I forgive her, so I did.
Advocating for life has now become Milbourn's passion and purpose. She has since met other abortion survivors and joined a nonprofit called Abortion Survivors Network. She thanks God for saving her life.
For him to save my life, I owe him everything. And I want to speak out for all those that didn't make it, that should have made it, who shouldn't have perished the way that they did. Abortion isn't just about the mother, it's about the baby.
Milbourn represents fellow abortion survivors at every annual March for Life rally. She argues that the overturning of Roe v. Wade was a good step in the right direction, but there is still work to be done.
Abortion is a very selfish type of medical procedure. In fact, it's the only medical procedure that when a doctor fails, a life is saved.
Milbourn said she's fully forgiven her birth mother now, and noted that her birth mother was also a victim of the abortion industry, just like she herself was.
Wow, what an incredible story. I've never heard any story I've never heard from an abortion survivor.
Yeah, and it's just so great that she found it in her heart to forgive her.
I agree, yes.